So the new game mode, Winter Express, has been out for a little bit now in the Apex Legends Mirage's Holiday Bash update. And I have to say that it's probably the best mode in Apex, and it's the best mode released so far, by far. I think this mode has incredible potential and needs to stay, needs to be permanent. So I'd like to talk a little bit today about some of the elements of this game mode and why I feel like it's the strongest mode in the game and has incredibly high potential for competitive play, for the spectator experience, for commentators to cast on, and for the players themselves, high-level players, to be able to show off the talent they have. I feel like this mode is a simplified, condensed, refined version of Apex that has a lot of the core elements of the game and represents them in a fast and furious way, really. This game type is quick, you're in the action immediately, and I think spectators who don't even know anything about this game are going to be able to understand what's happening much better than in the Battle Royale experience. So part of the reason that I feel that way has to do with the fact that we're bypassing the looting phase that we often see happening for a few minutes at least, and especially when you're in a game with 20 teams and players are really concerned about not being the first team out. You can easily spend 10 minutes of looting and just moving on the inside of the circle, trying to get good positioning as teams avoid each other because they're afraid to go out too soon. So there's long stretches of time where not much is happening, and by the time the circle closes and gets small enough and there's enough teams close together for them to actually fight each other or to be forced to fight, so much of that action happens so quickly and so fast, and there's so much of it going on that the broadcast is unable to capture all these moments, and the spectators really can't see the whole wide picture of what's happened. You can't have 10 screens pulled up and be able to see what's going on. There's a lot of great plays that are happening that are missed, and the only way to capture these is to go back in the footage and have people individually pull out plays. You can't really capture the experience live. This new mode is very focused. With only 3 teams, you really get a chance to focus in on an individual player's screen and understand exactly what's happening on the map and on the mode. You can see pushes out of a squad. It's not too chaotic to the level of seeing 5 teams drop in the matter of a minute, you know? So most of what I said had to do with competitive broadcasts and spectator experience, but I feel that the actual gameplay for players in this mode can draw the audience from people who wouldn't be playing Battle Royale. Arena FPS players, people from Halo, Call of Duty, other Arena FPS games can really enjoy this mode, which is, in a sense, more traditional to what they're used to. And for players who don't have a lot of time and they want to get an immediate action, this mode is perfect for them. You know, a lot of players who might only be able to play for like an hour or 2 at a time, and having to go drop and loot and then die, and then you're sitting there staring at your screen hoping your teammate can respawn you, or you just lose immediately and have to go start and re-loot all over again. Take some time. And when here, you immediately can try to select a weapon that you're interested in, a character that you're interested in, and just get right in on the action. One of the reasons I like this mode so much is that there's a lot of standardized equipment. Everyone has a blue shield and a helmet. Nothing's too radically different. And what comes up in the Battle Royale mode a lot is you may have just a standard common shield, and you run into a guy with purple or gold. And you lose that fight, and you just kind of shrug your shoulders and you go, he had better equipment than me. Like, what am I going to do? So often you feel like you're not outplayed. And the player who had the purple or gold shield and won the fight on the common shield, they don't get as much satisfaction either. They know that they're better equipped than that person. And what happens when you have these very similar shield pool, and you know for a fact that your opponent is pretty much the same as you, the reward for winning that fight is increased. Because you know that you were on a roughly level playing field. The other thing that goes hand in hand with that is the fact that in this mode you get to select characters and know ahead of time what their loadout is and what weapons you're going to be using. For casual players just trying to get some games in, they can immediately just have that fun factor of playing with their favorite weapon. For competitors, you can really tailor a team's strategy specifically to how you want to play. If you want to be long range, you want to be like a sniper team, you want to be the people who get up close, you want to spread your team around and make sure you have a variety of ranges available to you and strengths. Also, top players can become specialists and become known for being good with a particular loadout, with a particular weapon, and they're able to present that immediately and consistently by having that loadout available to them at the start of the game. So the knowledge of having these loadouts attached to certain characters and already knowing what they are allows scenarios to come up. For instance, you might see your teammate getting pushed and you can call out, there's an Octane pushing you from the back of the payload. And they can immediately know that Octane has an R99 and a scout, or whatever it might be, and make a decision on how to space themselves, whether they want to back up, move in, based on that information. I really like that Respawn has kept a lot of the loadouts very simple as far as their optics, just like 1 or 2 times optics on a lot of them, and the magazine size, maybe a gray or blue extended mag. I think it's keeping things pretty simple and pretty fair. Some of the weapons do have hop-ups that are maybe a little bit too powerful, but I think those things can be balanced. Everyone also spawns with 2 grenades, and grenades are pretty good in this game type, since everyone has to push the train at some point in that close quarters situation. Grenades are really effective at denying space or closing the gap on somebody, creating a distraction. And the fact that respawners get to have fresh grenades, and the people who took the train are most likely out of their grenades, they don't get a restock, gives a small comeback factor to the people who are trying to take the train back. Having infinite shield cells and infinite syringes is another one of the best parts of this mode. You don't have to worry about stacking up on this resource or being out of it, or being outmatched on your potential heals by somebody else having a battery that you do not have, or a Phoenix kit, something like that. So when you back a player down in this mode, you have a much better idea how long it's going to take for them to be able to get back to a level of health for them to want to challenge you. So you can back people down and focus on other targets, other enemy teams, and have a better idea about when that other squad would come back out in that fight. But regarding the map, I like the idea of 3 points on the map. We have a sectioned off portion of the Battle Royale map, and we have our own little playground, which has a good amount of space in it, and we know what the points are going to be. And I think that really allows for teams to be able to come up with setups and strategies and different routes, rotations, and game plans that you can only really have if the map is consistent. Because when they practice, they can't. The map is too large in a battle royale game type to be able to work on all these possibilities. There's too many scenarios that come up. But when you have a focused piece of a map, you can really see some unique things developed by teams and individuals. Casters can also be talking to spectators about these strategies and these unique setups that are only possible from having this focused map that people can practice on daily and know that these scenarios are going to be happening very frequently. Imagine this. 3 teams are dropping, flying in the air. Casters are letting the spectators know exactly what kind of unique playstyles these teams have, a little bit about their setups, a little bit about what weapons they like to run. Maybe there's a long-range team with long scopes who like to land on a rooftop. Maybe there's a team with up-close weapons, close-range optics. Maybe there's a team that spreads it all around. They have a little bit of each, close, long, medium, and they can tailor their game plan. With the time between rounds resetting, or if a team is wiped out, there's a little bit of room to talk about strategy amongst themselves for the squad, and also for the casters to be able to explain to the spectators, you know, what can we do better? What can this team do to counteract this other team? 3 is a really good number for this mode. The higher skilled team has a better chance of winning more often in this style of gameplay. No matter how good you are, you can't always account for a 4th or 5th team, and even if you know that they're there, you may not have the shields or the resources to fight them in the Battle Royale mode. To wrap it up, I think Winter Express is the best way to play Apex Legends. For casual players, it's fun, it's fast, you get right in the action, you use the character you want, and you can pretty much use the gun that you want to play with. This mode displays the mechanics of the game very well, and for pro players in competitive play, tournament play, players are going to be able to show off their individual skill, their strategy as a team. Unique aspects of their gameplay can be showed off more often since there's not 20 teams in the game. I hope Respawn keeps this mode in the game, that they expand upon it, continue balancing it, adding to it. I hope they host tournaments for it, and if they don't, I feel like they're missing a big opportunity. This is a great game mode, and I really hope it's here to stay. Until next time, peace.